Cars are everywhere. We rely on them daily to work, to school, to get groceries. They've become such a normal part of our lives that we don't even question them anymore. But what if I told you that this car centric culture didn't just happen naturally? That it was built on purpose through propaganda, politics, and profit? Let's start with the basics. In 2022, over 42,500 people died in traffic accidents in the USA alone. That alone is more than the total deaths from serial killers, plane crashes, and tornadoes combined. And that's just fatalities. The same year, the NHTSA reported nearly 6 million non fatal injury crashes. The cost, a jarring 340 billion in 2019 alone. That's billions. Cars are not just dangerous, they're incredibly inefficient. Statistically, they are about 100 times more dead per mile than commercial flights. And it doesn't just end there. To the World Health Organization, 4.2 million people die every year due to outdoor pollution, a massive chunk of which comes from cars. In the US alone, transportation sector made up about 30% of total greenhouse emission in 2021. So when we talk about the health impact of cars, we are not just talking about crashes, we are talking about pollution, asthma, climate change, and even early deaths. So how did we get here? Believe it or not, it wasn't always like this. In the 1900s, there were only about 8,000 registered cars in the USA. Just a decade later, over 400,000. This explosion growth wasn't just about better engineering, it was about better manipulation. You see, Edward Bernays, the nephew of Sigmund Freud, is considered the father of modern day public relations. In the 1910s and 1920s, he pioneered the use of psychology and propaganda to shape public behavior. He turned cars into symbols of status, freedom, and identities. Early car adverts were basically manuals. Here's the engine, here's the wheels. But by the 1950s, things had changed. Chevrolet's iconic See the USA in Your Chevrolet campaign sold cars as gateways to freedom and family memories. Suddenly, owning a car wasn't just useful, it was meant for you to do. It meant you made it in life.
Levy, performance is sweeter, nothing can beat her. Life is completer in a Chevy. So make a date today to see the USA. See it in your Chevrolet.
Then came one of the most profitable tricks in modern history, planned obsolescence. GM and Bernice pushed the idea that cars should be upgraded like fashion. New models came out every year, and last year's car suddenly uncool. Even Harry Ford hated the idea. He thought it was dishonest. But General Motors ran with it, and it worked. Not only did it boost profits, it cemented the idea that buying more equals success. Hello guys, if you like the video so far, please kindly be like. It helps the algorithm push the content to more viewers. And if you're interested in this kind of videos like I make here, you could just subscribe and turn on your notification in case anytime I post another video. Thank you. I really appreciate everything. You see, the government was in on it, so on June 29, 1956, President Eisenhower signed the Federal Aid Highway Act, launching the largest public works projects in U.S. history, 41,000 miles of interstate highway. While this fueled suburban expansion, it also sidelined public transit on purpose. By the 1970s, transit ridership had dropped to just 25% of its 1946 levels, from 23 billion transit trips down to 6.4 billion. Streetcar system bought up and dismantled by a private company, many supported by General Motors and Standard Oil. According to the Washington Post, these corporations replaced electric streetcars with diesel buses to encourage car use. The legal punishments for this, practically nothing. The result, cities became spread out, unwalkable, and car dependent by design. All this investment into roads, and what did we get? The average US driver still lost 42 hours to traffic congestion last year. Basically, a work week just in the car. In the cities like New York and Chicago, that number goes up to about 100 hours per year. Wow. If roads are such a bad idea, why do politicians keep building it? Well, because building roads wins votes. It looks like progress, it looks like relief, even if that relief never really comes. Meanwhile, public transit gets overlooked, seen as less convenient, less popular, or simply not profitable enough. So who benefits from all this? It's simple. Car companies, oil companies, private contractors, the industries that make billions from keeping us driving. No matter the cost of our health, our wallet, or our planet, they do not care. Cars aren't just a mode of transportation, they are part of a system, carefully engineered over decades through psychology, advertising, lobbying, and legislation. One that shapes how we live, how we build, and how we move, and how we think. And maybe, just maybe, it's time to rethink the roads while we are on.